What's up guys, Josh Mason from thedetoxdudes.com here. This may be one of the most important videos I've ever made on YouTube. It's going to be about cavitations, root canals, and toxic dentistry. Okay, I have so much to say about this subject, and I'm going to do a series of videos. There's no way I'm going to be able to get it all done in one video. But I've had a huge experience with dental cavitations and toxic dentistry, okay? So just to rewind a little bit, if we go back many years ago, I had amalgam fillings inserted, and it was a 3.5 year journey of extreme mercury toxicity without knowing about mercury. That mercury was actually one of the root causes of my ailments: extreme depression, extreme panic attacks, anxiety. And it turned out that I had extreme mercury poisoning from amalgam fillings, from sushi. And it took me 3.5 years to finally figure out that I had mercury fillings and that they were toxic, and I got them removed, okay? My health improved, I started this business, everything changed for me, and my life became pretty amazing. Now, another situation with toxic dentistry, okay? About 6 months ago, I started having neck pain, shoulder pain. Like, it felt like my lymphatic system was swollen, my joints were swollen, just everything was hurting me. And I chalked it up to the fact that I was a competitive jiu-jitsu athlete for 5 years. And I just assumed, okay, this is the nature of the beast when you do jiu-jitsu. I know a lot of jiu-jitsu folks who have severe neck injuries, and I just have to rehab it. And I spent months stretching and massaging my neck to no avail. It was actually getting worse, okay? It was getting excruciating to the point where I was about to get an MRI and just get this thing checked out, okay? So I started learning about cavitations through a documentary called Root Cause. Root Cause is a documentary that talks about this guy who goes to great lengths to find the answers to his health and discovers that it was root canals, toxic root canals, that were fucking him up. Now, when we get root canals, there's literally a piece of the bone left intact and underneath, and that easily gets infected, and it gets infected with a gangrene-like infection. Okay, so it's very highly toxic. And there's another form of toxic dentistry, you know, going back to when I was dealing with conventional dentists, is the extraction of wisdom teeth. When they extract the wisdom teeth, they don't actually remove the periodontal membrane, the periodontal layer, and they don't clean it effectively, and they use local anesthetic, which actually reduces bleeding, okay, which creates more infection, okay? So there's tons of things wrong with a conventional method of removing wisdom teeth. And what's happening is that 70%, according to Dr. Nunnally, who's a doctor that I'm going to show many videos of, 70% of these cavitations are infected. And when he cuts into them, it's literally black or yellow sludge that comes out. Sometimes it actually pressures, it's pressured, right? So what happened is, you know, month after month, I'm dealing with this pain. I'm doing all kinds of research, going into all the organs, learning, you know, relearning, re-experimenting, of course, becoming my own doctor in this field. And I start having this exacerbated pain in my wisdom tooth sites. You know, I had pain in my wisdom tooth sites for years, but I ignored it because I grinded my teeth and I just thought it was a result of that. And finally, a few months ago, I started really being conscious of just how painful those wisdom tooth sites were, coinciding with the documentary Root Cause, and I said, there's something here. And this is what boggles my mind, folks. This is what I want to explain to you. If there's anything you take away from this video, it's two things. Number one, go get a cone beam scan. We'll talk about that. Number two, you know, there are things that I just simply don't believe. Like when I hear about root canals, and it's the same way. When I heard about mercury poisoning, I was like, bullshit. How could mercury affect me in that way? I said, bullshit. Similarly, I heard about root canals affecting people, wisdom teeth being extracted affecting people, the teeth corresponding to meridians, and I'm a spiritual dude, I'm an energetic dude, and I still couldn't buy it. I just couldn't buy it. I was like, there's no way that this stuff affects, there's no way that if I get my tooth pulled here, it's going to affect my kidneys. There's just no fucking way. And I don't know what that is, if it's the Western mind, if it's my machismo male energy, but I promise you, I'm a skeptic first. I'm always a skeptic first. The reason is because I see all this woo-woo bullshit, spiritual healing stuff, and I almost want to throw it all away. And I've also seen time and time and time and time again me being sold on some sort of formula or supplement or modality, being told it's the greatest thing of all time, it'll change your life, and it failing, or giving me marginal, nominal results. So I tend to just say, fuck it, everyone's exaggerating. But this cavitation thing, this root canal thing, it's very, very real. And I have personal experience, and I now know for sure that it's real. So first thing I do is I start doing research, and I decide to get a cone beam scan. Okay, 3D cone beam scan. This is the type of x-ray that's required to see if you have cavitations. I went to Dr. Jarvis in Marin Dental Wellness. It was a great organization. But I decided to do the surgery after finding out all 4 were infected. I decided to do the surgery in Austin, Texas with Dr. Stuart Nunnally. Okay, I resonated with Nunnally, his work, his demeanor, his vibe, the fact that he had mercury poisoning, and I said, fuck it, I'll fly to Austin all the way from California. I'll spend 12 hours of traveling just to get it done from a guy who carries himself in that way, right? So I went to Austin, had a beautiful, beautiful experience. It was the best dental experience of my life. I want to send people to this dude for the rest of my life until he retires. I hope that he has a 12-month waiting list by the time this video hits 10,000 views or however many views it may hit. I hope the wait list isn't too long that you can't go to him, but I will support this dude till the end, okay? So he was just a beautiful man, incredible presence, and he did all 4. Okay, I got all 4 cavitations cleaned. He said my lower right one was 10 millimeters deep. By the way, this tooth corresponds to this right sacroiliac joint, which is some back pain back issues that I've been having. I'm curious to see how that plays out. It's already improved my back, but my neck pain is gone. It's fucking gone. Or at this point, it's jiu-jitsu related. I can tell it's a little stiff and sore, and I'm like, okay, I need to work that out. It's jiu-jitsu related. But the pain I was having before was a whole other animal, okay? So I'm still recovering. It's not like I'm all of a sudden enlightened, and I'm not like all of a sudden, flying high. I do feel more energized. I do feel calmer in the neck and the shoulders. It's only been 5 days, and he said it takes weeks or months to really notice the full benefit. The truth is that I had an infection in my jawbone, and my body couldn't fight it because there was a membrane blocking the immune system from reaching it. Okay? Furthermore, it was decades and decades of buildup of an infection. So, yeah, just an incredible experience. I'm going to keep following up on this subject and let you know more results. I feel more energized. I feel more clear. My neck and my shoulders, thank God, are feeling better. So we're going to see what happens, moving forward in the next couple weeks. I'm really, really looking forward to it. So what you want to do with cavitations, with root canals, is you want to get that 3D cone beam scan. You want to find out if they're infected. Then you want to go to a qualified biological dentist who does a lot of these surgeries. Jarvis is one dude. Nunnally is another dude. You want to make sure they're not going to cut up your whole jawbone. It should be a relatively easy procedure. If they're on the cutting edge, the procedure should be an hour and a half, and you should be able to eat a couple days later. It shouldn't be weeks of a recovery. That means they're just old school, outdated technology. Nunnally has all kinds of super tiny PZO tools that he uses for this procedure, and don't require a large incision. So anyway, guys, more videos on this subject to come, but work diligently at this subject. Trust me, it's worth it. You don't want to be climbing uphill. I even learned that Clean Heart recommends people get their cavitations and root canals treated as a first step to detoxification, as a first step. I should have done this years ago. Years ago. To be honest, I was probably climbing uphill all of these years, even though I was in good health, and even though, I created this amazing business and had energy and do all my things I need to do and live a fucking flourishing life. I was still probably climbing uphill. There's still some systemic infections stemming from my jawbone. So I think, I won't have to do so much to feel good now. I still will do so much because I love doing it. But it was required of me to feel good. And I don't necessarily think that's going to be the case anymore. But anyway, it's too early to make any conclusions. So I don't want to go ahead and say that this was completely life-changing, earth-shattering, but it definitely removed my neck pain already. Okay? Huge. Okay? That's all I got for you. Peace.
Summer in the hills, those hazy days I do remember. We were running still, had the whole world at our feet, watching seasons change. Our roads were